Okay, so this video is probably long overdue. We are going to consolidate all of our company files. I'm going to show you the organization and the structure of how we're going to do this moving forward. Previously, we had Dropbox, Google Drive. I had some folders on my desktop, and it was just all over the place, especially with respects to sharing those files and assets over our company and our different contractors and employees and team members and all those things. So it became very difficult to make sure that everybody has all the stuff that they need and also knows where to categorize assets as they come in from clients and projects and all of those areas where it's important to have structure. And the reason we didn't have it set up this way before is because we didn't really know what we needed, and how we would need it and how we would need to access that information. But as we've grown our company and we've gotten a lot more systemized and things are more clear, we've been able to map this out. So if you haven't seen my last video where I talk about the organization, the company org chart, you'll want to go check that video out because this kind of goes alongside that, right? The company has different levels of organization, right? We have CEO, we have COO, we have CFO, project management, contractors, all those areas. And the level of access to the company files kind of goes in line with that. So you'll want to check out that video if you haven't seen that yet. And then I'm going to explain this to you, what you're looking at on your screen here. And again, this is really just to make it easier for everybody so everybody has everything that they need as they go about their day to day, as they're building out ad campaigns or building websites or making sales or whatever it is. So in its core, what we are using now is Google Drive shared folder for business, right? Or shared drive, they call it. So you have to upgrade to a Google Business plan in G Suite in order to get this, and you'll be able to create a shared drive, which is something that can be shared across your entire company, and you can limit different areas of access for different sections and folders, which I'm gonna share with you right now. So this is the higher level view of everything, the map, right? So I'm gonna go into detail. You can see these squares are the different color coding is for levels of access. So let's just start at the top. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit here. So we have the shared drive, right? Number one. And in red, we have all of the CFO, financial, tax documents, those things. So you can see here this user key on the left. Red has access to this section, all the tax documents, but they also have access to everything. So they have access to, which is blue, which is the admin level, yellow, project management level, and white, which is a contractor level. And then green, everybody has access to the green folders because those are just company branding and any training files that we have for everybody, contractors or employees, doesn't matter. So red has access to red and everything below. Now the next level is the admin level, right? So the admin level, this is somebody that has access to all the legal contracts, right? Somebody that could be sending invoices. They also have access to this folder called the admin and HR folder, which houses the team files, which are the different files for each team member. These are contracts. Maybe they sign for their employment handbook. Maybe this is the profile requests that we have them fill out, like the personality tests, all that stuff. Maybe you have documentation on when's the last time somebody got a raise, or when's their birthday, or when did they leave for sick leave, or whatever. This is where you categorize all that. So the admin has access to all of that and everything below it as well. And this is my org chart. I'm going to pull it up real quick just so you guys can see. But you should go look at that other video. But the admin, which you can see here, is this person, right? Accounts receivable, person to create and implement feedback loops, employee and customer resolutions. They have access to everything below it. And I just kind of wanted to give you that visual real quick. So let's jump back to the map. So the yellow is the projects folder, right? And we can call this the project manager because they are the ones who have access to the client folders, which is below it, but they also have access to the different departments like the marketing, the sales, customer service. Marketing has everything from paid ad campaigns, assets and white papers, anything the company uses to promote itself and make sales for itself, right? The other folder that the project has access to is the sales. So anything that somebody would come in and start doing sales for the business, like prospecting lists and other assets like that, they would have access to that there. And then also a folder for customer service. Now, for us, one of the biggest folders that we have and where we keep most of our information is the client folders, right? Where we do all of the fulfillment. And we have all of these different services for our clients. So the way it works is in our projects folder, we have our client folders. And then each time we get a client, we give them a new folder. And then whatever service we're doing for them, if it's web design or SEO, we give them a web design folder and then an SEO folder. And then we start compiling all those assets in that folder. So if we're doing a website design, in their web design folder, we'll put their documents for their website copy. We'll put the images that they want to use in their website. We'll put the mock-up files there. We'll always have all that information ready to go, because if you've done this before, you know that oftentimes you'll have to go back. You'll want to see what you did. You want to have good records. A good way to grow your business is by having solid records on what you've already done. So you'll want to keep really good records for fulfillment. You know, if you're doing SEO, you'll want to have monthly folders for each month. So in month 1, we did this, and you can compile your assets there. You know, if you have backlinks you've created, content you're writing, if you have citations that you have that information archived for, you want to have that in month 1. And then if you go to month 2, you want to have everything that you've done in month 2. That way, 6 months from now, if you run into an issue, you can go back and say, or maybe your customer is changing their address, right? They're changing their physical address, and you want to go back and fix all of the citations that you've created for them in the past. Well, you know that in month 2 or 3 or whatever you created citations, you can go back in that archive and check out all the citations you've already created in the past and go back and fix those retroactively. So that's another great example of why having these organized files for your client documents are really important. But also, you can see that the access level here is in white. So when we bring on a new client, let's say we're working with a contractor to help us do the website design. Well, then we'll just share that individual folder with the contractor. So we won't give the contractor the entire corporate access to our company, just what they need, right? Just for that client folder they'll have access to, so they can manage the assets that they're in charge of. So you want to keep some separation between the different areas of access of your company, especially if you're working with a lot of contractors. You want to just give them access to what they need to and not be confused by any of the rest. And so I've already created this structure in Google Drive. And let me see if I miss anything here. Oh yeah, finally the green section, right? This is a folder that everybody has access to. This is company branding, right? Everybody should have access to the branding in case they need to use it somewhere. But also any sort of like training or assets that you want to make available to everybody, you'll make it available there. So everybody has access to that. So let me jump over to the actual Google Drive, the shared drive, where you can see what this will look like. So this is my shared drive, right? And if I open it up, I already have it set up. And actually, I'm going to move this back to the left so we can look at them together and you can see how this works with one another, right? So if I look at the drive in itself, I can also open it up in like a tree. See this? So it has my owner files, which those will be restricted to specifically me, right? Company owner. So I do have this owner file section where nobody else has access. It's just me, and it's anything that I want to keep to myself. Maybe that's my, the finished taxes for the year or something like that. Like nobody really needs to see that other than me, right? Or maybe they are my organization, my corporate structure documents or something like that. Nobody needs that. So I have that file restricted access completely, but then you'll see the first folder, number 1, is for my CFO, right? Number 2 is the admin section, which is in blue. Number 3 is the project section, which is in yellow. And you can see if you open up the project folder, you have the subfolders, right? You have the white section, which is the client files. Let me scroll down so you can see, so you can see it. So client file folders, right? And then you have the marketing, which you can see there, sales, which you can see there. I need to add the customer service, so I'll add that right now, customer service folder. And again, on the left-hand side of the shared drive, you can see all of this, right? So The way that I would distribute access to this and make sure it's limited is in Google G Suite for Business, or they also have a tier called Google Workspace. I will create groups, and each group I'll have like a red, a yellow, a blue, a green. Of course, they'll have names. One will be my financial, blue will be my admin, yellow will be my project management, and green will be my, I don't know, my squad level, right? The level for everybody to have access to. And so I'll restrict these folders based off of access. But the big picture is when I bring somebody into my team, they can look at this video that you're watching right now, and they can see how all the files and the information is structured, and they know where to go to get access to whatever information they need. So let's say they come in and they don't know who our clients are, but a client reaches out and they are a past client and they need to get information to be able to speak with that client. Well, they know they can go to the client folder and everybody has access to it, and they can check what has happened in the past to get the information they need. That allows them to not bother anybody else and just on their own accord go in and figure out what's going on, and then be able to get that information to keep the ball in play. And so as we grow our business to these other and next levels, if we're organized in this way, it's not going to be confusing where to go, because when you have Dropbox, you have Google Drive, you have files on your computer, you have files on your phone, you have external drives, you have files everywhere, you'll notice that a lot of the times you'll have people on your team saying, hey, can you send me this? Where is this? Where is that? If you take that time that you spend finding those files over the entire year, I mean, it's probably days, weeks even, with everybody collectively putting in that effort to find that information. And also, oftentimes, you just misplace stuff and you have to recreate stuff, or you don't know where it is, and that also takes time. So there's a lot of opportunity cost that's missed out on if you're disorganized. And I know not everybody is, starting out right out of the gate with tons of clients and a company, a big company. But if you just follow the structure that I've set up, and whether you're one man band or you have a pretty big team and you do this, like, it's going to make your life a whole lot easier. But as you scale your business, you're going to probably come back to this video. And I hope right now, hit me a like on this video, shoot me a comment below and say, thank you for setting this up and sharing it with me, because, I've come up with this structure based off of doing this, right? Real world implementation. And that's what I want to share with you. So as you grow and build and scale your business, you have something that actually works for a business that's collecting multiple six figures. So yeah, if you got any value out of this at all, please let me know. Hit the like, subscribe to this channel. I've got tons of simplifying and systemizing that I'm working on right now into the new year. And I want to share that with you. So you'll want to hit the bell notification icon as I do that, because you don't want to miss any of this content, right? It's great free content that you have access to from me, and I'll see you in the next video.